स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। यथाग्नेर्दाहिका शक्ति रामकृष्णे स्थिता हिया सर्वविद्यास्वरूपां तां शारदां प्रणमाम्यहम्। नमः श्रीयतिराजाय विवेकानन्दसूरये सच्चित्सुखस्वरूपाय स्वामिने तापहारिणे। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अनेकजन्मसम्प्राप्त कर्मबन्धविदाहिने आत्मज्ञानप्रदानेन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। मन्नाथो श्रीजगन्नाथो मद्गुरुः श्रीजगद्गुरुः ममात्मा सर्वभूतात्मा तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। Let us spend a few moments in silence and meditation. Please be seated straight and concentrate on your breathing process for a minute. Inhalation and exhalation should be equal in time and very, very slow. Breathe in very slowly, full concentration, and slowly breathe out. Your mind will become peaceful, pleasant, free from the waves, the vrittis, the tensions, the worries. Visualize, imagine deeply you are inhaling positive vibrations. They will destroy all the impurities, negativity from the mind and the body. Slowly breathe out the positive vibrations. Now you are inhaling pure vibrations. They will destroy all the impurities in the mind, deep inside the mind and the body. Slowly breathe out pure vibrations. Now slowly you are breathing in peaceful vibrations. They will destroy all the restlessness in the mind. Slowly breathe out peaceful vibrations. Think that you are spreading these vibrations of purity, positivity, and strength and peace to all fellow beings, all over the city, state, in the whole country, and in the whole world, in all directions. Mentally offer your namaskaram, salutations to the all-pervading blissful spirit, in any name or form. Let us offer our salutations to Sri Ramakrishna, Ma Sharda Devi and Swami Vivekananda, and to Adi Shankaracharya, whose teachings we are learning every week, and to all great teachers, all great saints in the whole world. Please repeat Sri Ramakrishna Stuti. Omkara Vedya Purushah Puranah Buddhescha Sakshi Nikhilasya Janto Yovetti Sarvam Nachayasya Veta Paratma Rupo Bhuvi Ramakrishna. Omkara Vedya Purushah Puranah Buddhescha Sakshi Nikhilasya Janto Yovetti Sarvam Nachayasya Veta Paratma Rupo Bhuvi Ramakrishna. Think that you are not the body, you are not the mind, you are the Atman. You are Nitya, Shuddha, Buddha, Mukta, Ananda Swarupaha. That is your nature, your eternal nature, your pure nature, your awakened nature. You are eternally free from the bondages of samsara. You are embodiment of bliss. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhave. Think of the well-being of all people through this prayer. Sarve Sarvatra. May all be happy everywhere. May all be peaceful. May all be healthy. May all see what is good, know what is good. May none be subject to misery. May all be healthy, happy everywhere. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrutyorma Amrutangamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् हरिः ओम्. Before taking up this Atma Bodha, shloka number 9 and 10 today, there's a very important, interesting, thoughtful conversation composed by Adi Shankaracharya regarding the Atma Bhavam, regarding the real nature of oneself. So I will read out and say the meaning also. The Sanskrit original you can repeat and keep in mind. It is called Atma Swarupa Kathanam. Atma Swarupa Kathanam by Shankaracharya. Kim Jyotistava Kim Jyotistava Bhanumanahani Bhanumanahani Me Ratrau Pradeepadikam Kim Jyotistava Bhanumanahani Me Ratrau Pradeepadikam Syadevam Ravideepadarshanam Syadevam Ravideepadarshana Vidhau Ravideepadarshana Vidhau Kim Jyotirakyahi Me Kim Jyotirakyahi Me Chakshustasya Nimilanadi Samaye Kim Dhirodhiyo Darshane Kim Dhiradhiyo Darshane Kim Tatrahamato Bhavan Paramakam Jyotistadasmi Prabho Jyotistadasmi Prabho. So this is a conversation between the Shishya and the Guru. So Shankara says, Kim Jyotistava, through which light do you perceive the objects? Through which light do you perceive the objects of the world? How are you able to see this in the awakened state? Then the answer comes, I perceive the objects of the world through the light of the sun. Bhanumanahani Me, light of the sun. And when the sun sets, when there is darkness everywhere, Pradeepadikam, through the light, through the deepam, through the lamp lights in the night time. Next question. Through the aid of which light do you observe that? Through the aid of which light do you observe that this is sun, this is lamp light, etc.? Still more internal analysis. Then the Shishya says, I recognize them through the eyes. Chakshu. Syadevam ravideepa darshanam vidhau kim jyotirakya me. Chakshustasya. I recognize them through the eyes. Next. How do you know them when the eyes are closed? Nimilanadi samaye kim. Then answer comes, I understand them through the intellect. From outside he is taking us inside. Antarmukhi bhava. Kim dirdhiyo darshane. Kim tatrahamato bhavan. How does the intellect get activated? Intellect is the seat of buddhi. How does the intellect get activated? With the knowledge of perceiving the objects. I am seeing the glass, I am seeing the table, I am seeing the mic, camera stand, I am seeing all of you, the objects. What is that power through which the intellect is watching? Answer. I am indeed the cause for the perception in my intellect. Then he says, Kim tatrahamato bhavan paramakam. Oh, are you not the source of the divine light then? Through which the sun, lamp, eye, intellect get illumination? Then the Shishya says, Jyotis tadasmi prabho. The reply comes, yes, O Lord, I am the self-effulgent Atman. So from where to where to where? From the external objects to the Antaryami, to the Atman, which is your real nature. This you have to memorize, and in meditation you have to think about it. Final answer will be Jyotis tadasmi prabho. Please repeat again. Kim jyotistava bhanumanahani. Kim jyotistava bhanumanahani me. Ratrau pradipadikam. Syadevam ravideepa darshana vidhau kim jyotirakya me. Chakshustasya nimilanadi samaye kim dhirdhiyo darshane kim tatrahamato bhavan paramakam jyotis tadasmi prabho. So this is understanding in another way the Kathopanishad sloka. Famous sloka in the Kathopanishad, Yama is telling Nachiketa, Atmanam rathinam vidhi shariram rathamevatu. The owner of this body, which is a ratha, is the rathi called Atma. And what is the driving force? Who is to take this chariot forward? Buddhim tu saratim vidhi. Keep in mind that the buddhi is your driver. Manav pragrahamevacha. The mind is the reins of the horses. The leather belt, the bridle. Indriyani hayanahu. The horses are your indriyas. Vishayam steshu gocharan. They are going in one direction. 5 horses. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. Each has got its own designated path. If they are wild horses, it will be their journey. If they are trained horses, you can reach the destination safely. And the world is your playground. And still more, Yama goes to the extent of saying the driver, the Sarathi, should be awakened. He should not be drowsy. He should not be asleep. He has got the skill, but he should be awakened. Otherwise it will be disaster. So this jignasa of reaching the goal is the sum and substance of Atma Bodha. It's not just attending class, it is not just reading the texts of Shankara or any other teacher, any other acharya. But we have to feel it. So, chakshustasya nimelanadi samaye kim dhirdhiyo darshane. I am seeing with the intellect. But even when the intellect, what gives the power to the intellect? It is the light within. Jyotis tadasmi prabho. So it's a very important meditative shloka composed by Adi Shankara. The title of this shloka is, prayer is Atma Swarupa Kathanam. Next point is, entire scripture that we read, the Prakarana Granthas, then the main Granthas like the Upanishads and the Bhagavad Gita and the Brahma Sutras, is for quickening the progress of the sadhaka. By removing what? By removing ajnana. Filling the mind with viveka, discrimination. Understanding what exactly, where exactly is the problem. Where are you stuck up? So last, from 7th shloka onwards, what are we reading? Superimposition, superimposition, superimposition. Adhyasa, adhyasa, adhyasa. One adhyasa is at the macro level, at the outside world level. The second adhyasa is the micro level, on this body, on the mind. First few shlokas is what is knowledge? What is Atma Bodha? Next he says why this knowledge is important. The last few shlokas, 50 shlokas at least, Shankara says how that knowledge can be attained. This is the growth, the process of attaining knowledge. The supreme knowledge or the awareness that you are the Atman. So now he is telling in this 9th shloka and 10th shloka about Sharira Adhyasa. On this body or on the Atman, the body is imposed. Like a snake which is not there but still it is imposed Adhyasa as a snake on the rope. Sri Ramakrishna gives a beautiful example of the truth of the Atman. A son and father. Father takes the son to the garden and there are 10 pots full of water. And there is the sun in the space. Okay. In every pot which is full of water, there is a reflection of the sun. Then the father asks, my dear son, how many suns are there? How many suns are there? The young boy counts 1, 2, 3, 4 pots in 10 ghatas. 10 suns are there, father. 10 suns are there. Very good. He calls his servant or somebody, says, take away one pot, one ghata, one jar. Now how many are there? 9 are there. Take away another one, 8. One by one, all the ghatas are taken out. Finally, only one remains, only one pot. That also is taken away. And now the father asks the son, how many sons are there now? Because of ignorance, the son, young boy, without hesitation says, no son is there. No son is there. Are you sure, my son? Yes, father, no sons are there. Then the father says, look up. There is that one son. Because of that one son, these 10 sons were there. Reflections were there. This is not real. You are seeing the reflection and thinking there are 10 Suryas. But there is no Surya at all in reflection. It is only that remains. The one remains, and the others come and pass. So we have to look at that one. Ekameva nadvitiyam Brahma. There is no diversity at all in this universe. But it is imposed, adhyasa, like a cap on the head, and a second cap, and a third cap. Sometimes we put in winter monkey caps, covering up to the nose also. Whole face is covered. You do not know who that person is. So similarly, we forget the Atman. In Narendra's life, Swami Vivekananda's life, young boy, between 1881 and 1886, coming to Sri Ramakrishna almost every week, sometimes full week, every day he used to come. And Sri Ramakrishna is speaking because he is teaching Advaita Gnanam to young Narendra, because he has to do the pracharam in the whole universe and remove the Agnanam. And he intentionally made Swami Vivekananda or Narendra read Ashtavakra Samhita against his interest. Ashtavakra Samhita is the final in Advaita Vedanta. Narendra did not like it. But Sri Ramakrishna said, you don't like it, but you read it for my sake. Read it for me, I will listen. So he's playing there. He's preparing his Shishya for something unique in the future. And Narendra that he was making fun of his guru. I am Brahman, and this is Brahman, this glass is Brahman, the Dakshineshwar temple is Brahman, the boat is Brahman. What is this foolish talk that my guru is telling? He is making fun sitting outside the room of the Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna overhears from his room and comes innocently behind and says, my child, Naren, what are you talking? He already knows that Naren is criticizing this oneness. And he takes a towel from his shoulder, just a small towel, and touches Narendra with that towel. Lo and behold, the mind of Narendra is broken, which is jada, which is matter. It is thinking negative. Once the mind is broken, what was Narendra's experience? Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma. He's seeing everything as consciousness. Everything. He himself is consciousness. The buildings are consciousness. The chariot is consciousness. Horse carriages are consciousness. Ganga is full of consciousness. The trees in the Dakshineshwar are full of consciousness. It's reeling like a drunkard. It is going away from Dakshineshwar. Sri Ramakrishna is smiling. And as he is reaching his house, he is standing in the center of the road and there is a horse carriage coming at a great speed. Narendra is not moving. I am Brahman, the horse carriage is Brahman. That fellow is shouting, hey mad fellow, get away, Pagol Ladka, get away. He is not getting out. Consciousness in consciousness. Ekameva. And somebody comes and pulls him out. Then he goes nearer to his house, there is a park. The railings are there, iron railings as boundary. He is hitting his head on that railings. There's a wound on Narendra's forehead. He is testing himself. Is that consciousness? And he goes home, enters his house. Mother is so happy that he has come back. Oh, sit down, I will serve food for you. Mother is coming. Bhuvaneshwari Devi is coming from the kitchen with a plate of rice and vegetables. Narendra is seeing consciousness is coming. She has served food. What to eat? It is all consciousness. It's all Turiyavastha. He is unable to eat. He is just staring at And this remained for 3 days and 3 nights. Imagine. Like a drunkard he was in the house. Nothing he could do but experience Advaita Vedanta, Advaitic oneness. Then after that, his mind completely became transformed. Seeing Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma. Na Bhedaha. There is no Bheda in consciousness. No plurality in consciousness. Just like last Sunday I was telling, this hall there is space. Above hall there is space. And in this room, side room, there is space. Outside there is space. Are we in space or space is in us? We are in space. Prove it. Go up and up and up into skyscrapers or in flight. You will see what is that space. Just see outside through the window of the flight. If you are lucky enough to get a window seat. It's a sheer joy. Go with this Atma Bodha in your hand. Don't worry about other things. Just have a glance. Space everywhere. You are in space. The flight is in space. And when you land again, what do you see? Dvandva, dvandva, dvandva. Everything different, different, different. There's a great astronaut from America, from Russia or somewhere. He went up in space. He's seeing the beautiful earth just spinning on its axis. He sees through the window. What does he say? I saw a beautiful blue-colored ball floating in space. What a wonderful experience it must have been. He sees a beautiful blue-colored ball floating in space. That is his anubhav. And he felt unhappy. He said, we fight for a little piece of land on this. I wish every human being sees and keeps quiet and enjoys this earth, not breaking it into pieces. When you go higher up, it is oneness. What are you striving for? What are you fighting for? That comes in the next shloka. Now, shloka number 10 or 11. We keep on adding something or the other over this beautiful consciousness and put ourselves into trouble. That is called upadhi. Upadhi means impositions, adjuncts, distinctions. This is a common word in Vedanta. Upadhi, upadhi lakshana. Signifying a limiting or conditioning adjunct. When I say my room, your room, drawing room, kitchen room, washroom, everything you are putting in limitations. My right hand, my left hand, right leg, left leg, my head, my trunk, my neck, all limitations. But what is all this put together? Human body. This hand is not the body, leg is not the body, but all put together is the human body. So upadhi, upadhi, upadhi. And there is enough in the market at the macro level to put more upadhis on you. In the form of the market, in the form of clothes, in the form of sweets, in the form of vehicles, in the form of luxurious items, is all upadhis. Deliberately, the indriyas will project the upadhis and feel that it is real. So a cup, a jar which appears to limit the all-pervading nature of space, it's a upadhi. So we assume that in space there is duality. Above hall is different, which is called the prayer hall, temple. This is only basement hall, just an extension. Something is a store. These are all upadhis. When will all this appear one again? after the destruction of the upadhis. Only after the destruction of the upadhis everything becomes one. That is why Nirvanashtakam is very, very important. One by one he says, you are not this, you are not this, I am not. We know all this. We are aware of this, we have heard all this. But the upadhis are so powerful, it will make you forget that you are Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivo. Immediate identification comes with your name, comes with your ego, comes with your position, and we are in trouble. So once the differences or upadhis are discarded, we no longer function as the body, but we function through the body. Keep that in mind. We no longer function with the body, but we function through the body. We no more function as the individual, but we function as the absolute through the apparent individuality. In his lecture on real nature of man, the first lecture in Dhyana Yoga, Swamiji says, all the individuality is on your mustache only. It is on your status only. It is on your car only. If that goes, you feel life has ended. That means you are limiting yourself into a mustache baby, into a car which you are driving. You are not thinking that it is only an instrument or a upadhi. So all the problems come when that thing which you call is real is gone. But it is apparent reality. Vyavaharika satta. Then in the shloka, 9th shloka, which we shall recite once and go forward. Please repeat. 9th in my book, in the English book. It may be 10th in the Telugu book or whatever. Yatha kasho hrishikesho Yatha kasho hrishikesho Nanopadhigato vibhuhu Nanopadhigato vibhuhu Tadbhedad bhinnavad bhati Tadbhedad bhinnavad bhati Tannashe kevalo bhavet Tannashe kevalo bhavet. He has used the word Hrishikesha. Previous shloka has used the word Vishnu. Still previous shloka he has used the word Ishvara, Parameshvara. So this is not the forms and names, the Puranic names of Krishna or Shiva, etc. There is a particular meaning here. As the all-pervading Akasha appears to be diverse. Always keep that in mind in Vedanta. This word apparent, appears. Real nature, upadhis, will be again and again repeatedly taught in the scriptures. We should keep that in mind. Appearing appears to be diverse. How will it appear to be diverse? In association, constant association. With what? With various upadhi. Nana upadhi gato bhavet. Tad bhedad bhinnavad bhati, which are different from each other. This is different, mic is different, that is different. Each has got its own limitation. And that is put on our head. That is where the real education matters. Paravidya, aparavidya. What is paravidya? Tadaksharam adhigamyate. Aparavidya, you have got so many in the universities. And this aparavidya, the degrees, pedigrees, awards, certificates, bhuktaye natu muktaye. They give you good food, but they will not give you moksha. Bhuktaye natu muktaye. And this aparavidya is a kind of upadhi. Shankaracharya refers in another shloka, in another book. All this is creating so much of confusion. Chitta jalam, jagat jalam, he says. Chitta brahmana karanam. భ్రమించిపోతుంది మనస్సు, మాయలో పడిపోతుంది మనస్సు. చిత్త భ్రమణ కారణం, శబ్దజాలం, మహారణ్యం, ది రెథారిక్స్, శబ్దజాలం, మహారణ్యం, యూ విల్ గెట్ కాట్. చిత్త భ్రమణ కారణం, ముక్తయే నతు ముక్తయే. But that is useful, that is not the end. Gain as much as knowledge, because mind, to overcome the weaknesses of the mind, you have to have knowledge, some scientific knowledge. It is encouraged. But keeping in mind that it is only for purity, not for realization. So what is Shankara saying here, 9th shloka? Becomes one on the destruction of the upadhis. Tad bhedad bhinnavad bhati tan nashe. What is the tan nashe? That ignorance. When it is destroyed, kevalaha. What remains is only that. So Hrishikesha, Shankara uses Atma or Paramatma, my own higher nature. Hrishika plus Isha. Rishika means indriyas, senses. Krishna also got this name as Rishikesha because he killed a demon called Rishika. Isha is controller, governor, or one who controls the senses, the omnipresent Lord. Sarvavyapi, Sarvotma, Sarvagnaha, Bhagavan. Hrishikesha. So the absolute consciousness or conscious blissful reality, the Paramarthika Satta, known as Hrishikesha, that's how Rishikesh after Haridwar comes there to us as a pilgrimage center. Rishikesh, who is expressed through all the faculties, appears to have become many because of the conditionings. So I mentioned, one of the spiritual practices should never talk of the conditionings. Stop talking about the differences. Never support the differences. And never get lost in the differences. That is sadhana. I repeat again, never talk about the differences, never get lost in the differences, and never support the differences. That is why every day we sing in the evening, Khandana. The word Arati starts with Khandana. Of what? Bhava Bandhana. Swamiji wanted us to cut the differences, cut the Beda. Khandinchandi. Whole day you are caught up in this mad world, fish market, Khepar Hat Bazaar, as Sri Ramakrishna calls. 6:45 you come, refreshed, then you say Khandana. So that you will be free from the worries and the tensions, etc. Khandana. So, if you don't do this, of disregarding the conditions, the differences, what will happen? Our life starts disintegrating. It starts breaking. Like cancerous cells which grows in the body. So the good cells are eaten away, these cancer cells will eat you away one day. Swami Turiyanandaji, who was always on Turiyavastha, from the young age, a Jivan Mukta kind of attitude. He says, only the one exists, nothing else. What is this original Upanishad Vakyam? Ekam sat vipra bahuda vadanti. Ekameva nadvitiyam brahma. The one exists, nothing else. We see him as men, we see him as animals, we see him as objects. We see him as birds, insects, flies, plants. Everything is he. But we are seeing differences, that's all. If we only think correctly, these Turiyanji's words, if we only think correctly, we shall find that there is no such differentiation in him. How can we imagine an ego and slave for its gratification? Each has his own world which accompanies him beyond death. It is the enjoyment and the desire for it that obstructs true knowledge. Enjoyment of the plants, enjoyment of the food, enjoyment of the objects, sensual objects. Freed from them, we can have knowledge at this moment. Are we not knowledge itself? The whole universe being but an effect of Brahman. The cause and effect become one in Brahman. The world is Brahman, Brahman is Brahman. This will merge with that. Are the waves different from the water? The wave itself is a water. The wave is coming from the ocean. After a few seconds, it goes back to the ocean. Similarly, all of us are waves. We are coming from the Brahman. We are working with Brahman. End of the day, go back to Brahman. So its essence is that in capital T. Tattvam Asi. And it does not exist apart from it. Is clearly seeing Swami Turiyanji sitting in Benares. With this understanding, let us move on to the next verse, number 10 in the English book. Yes, please repeat. Nanopadhi vishaya deva Nanopadhi vasha deva Jati varnashramadayah Jati varnashramadayah Atmanyaropitaste toye Atmanyaropitastoye Rasavarnadibhedavat Rasavarnadibhedavat. In this now he is coming to the practical Vedanta, Shankara. What is that we have done in the society? Except upadhi, except limiting the truth. This alone is truth, nothing else. Nana upadhi. Varieties of limitations, conditionings. Jati varnashramadayah. Jati, varna, ashrama, adi. Still many are there in this universe, in our society. All these are put on the Atman. Like toye. What is toye? Water. There is a black water, brown water, red water, green water. What is all this red color that we are doing? It is imposed. Water by itself is pure. Rasavarnadi bhedavat. Oh, water is very tasty. Water is very pure. Always pure only. There is no adjunct for it. So, owing to its association with various upadhis such as caste, color, position are superimposed on the Atman as flavor, color and so forth on water. So, the nanopadi vashadeva jati varna ashrama adayah. Because of its association with different upadhis, and in some readings, some books, instead of varna, they have added nama. Jati nama ashramadaya. The name that has been given to you is also an upadhi. You are not born with the name that you are known today. It is again and again referred to in Vedanta, in Madalasas, in the Puranas. You are born Anamika, nameless. And that upadhi called a nama, because of you have to go in the market. You have to go for a ticket. You have to go to a bank. Some Aadhaar card, some name is necessary. You don't go to a bank and say, Chidananda Rupa Shivoham, Shivoham. That fellow manager will call the police. One madman has entered. I am asking his name. He is saying Chidananda Rupa Shivoham, Shivoham. You don't go to the ticket counter and say Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Swabhava when they ask your name. That Ramana Maharshi could do because he had attained the highest state. Sri Ramakrishna could do. A Vivekananda could do. A Ramatirtha could do. Great Acharyas could do. Shankara, when he was asked, who are you, by Govindapada in Omkareshwar, he started Nirvana Ashtakam. I am not the body, I am not the mind. So, Jati Nama Ashramadayaha, the idea of caste, color, position are superimposed on the Atman. As in water, toye. Atmani aropitaha toye. Superimpose differences, what the flavor of the water, the color of the water, etc. Temporary superimpositions, again and again. All these are false superimposition on the Nirguna Brahman, Nirguna Atma, as on toye, as on water. So this diversity, which has become so real for us, so terrifying for us, wherever you go today in society, thanks to politics, thanks to the ego, everything different. Higher up, all are one. In sleep, all are one. In Arati song, we sing in next few minutes. Towards the end, what is the shloka? What is the line Swamiji writes? Tyaji jati kula mai. When you come to Sri Ramakrishna, it is Tyaji jati kula mai. He removed all the concept of jati. But again, there are people in the society, in Hyderabad and other places, questioning the character of Vivek, questioning the jati of Vivekananda also. That means their nut and bolt is out of control, in the wrong direction. Even that time when Swamiji was alive, he had to face all this. Then he was proud to declare, I am the Shishya of that great Paramahamsa who swept the latrines of the Paraya, telling that my jati of being born in a Brahmana kulam should be crushed, O mother. Swamiji gets little bit emotional like that. I am proud to belong to that Guru, the master who cleaned the latrine of the Paraya in Dakshineshwar, outcast, scavenger. Saying, praying to the mother that I belong to the higher jati of a Brahmana, that ego should be destroyed, O mother. That was Swamiji's identification. When somebody asks, who are you, Swami? Ramakrishna dasasya dasavayam. I am the servant of the servants of Ramakrishna. He did not tell, I am Vivekananda, I am great speaker, I am great monk. Ramakrishna dasasya dasavayam. In today's Ekadashi, we sing Hanuman, this one also, Hanuman's prayer. When I am different and Lord are different, I am his dasa. At the higher level, I and Rama are one and the same. If these diversities of jati, kula, nama, sampradaya and all that, if they are taken in a positive manner, in a positive spirit, without the ego operating in it, then the society is safe and healthy. But we are not able to do it. We are not training ourselves to do it. In earlier times, in the in sociology, we find how the societies grew. Without this, diversity was accepted. And people live together. 5 fingers are different. Each has got its own work, but all together. So in the villages there was diversity, but they were all together. Because how did they accept the diversity? They kept their ego in check. The ego was kept aside. It had no play in their daily life. Unfortunately today, why Shankara has used, there must have been a purpose for this. In several communities, these differences have created violence, wars, hostility among tribes, among own family members, neighbors, community. That's why Shankara is keeping the bare truth in front of our eyes. Jati, Varna, Kula, all this superimposed on the Atman like toye, like what we do to water. So this superimposition of the attributes is what is our ignorance. Few more interesting points on this particular, what exactly is the Atman then? Then we have to refer to Mandukya Upanishad, Shankara's commentary in the original Mandukyakar. What is the Atman? What is not the Atman? That interaction we'll take up next Sunday when we meet. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.